Hey everybody, we have a fun comparison video today. Last time I did one of these, everyone was like, we love this, keep doing it. So what we're going to essentially compare today is these 3D sculpting gels. And they're super cool. So we have very high-end gel from Yogo, the Black Jam, which is around $22 US. And then we have really affordable mastering gel from Shein, which was like $2. So it's going to be a fun little comparison video, but these aren't the only ones we're going to be comparing today. So I have 4 different ones from Yogo. I don't know if we'll be comparing all of them. I know we'll definitely be doing the clear because I also have these from Kokoist. I feel like Kokoist was really on the forefront of these 3D gels. And so like this is like the OG 3D gel in my collection. But I can see how technology in the nail world has advanced, and like it's hard to explain until I show you, but basically these things are far more advanced than this, but there's still a place for this in my collection. We also will be looking at the Crisania collection. So she has clays. I don't know if I'll do the clays today. We'll see. I have an unboxing video of these, but then she has these jelly 3D clays that are so pretty and so gorgeous. So we'll definitely play with these too. But then we have the McArt 4-in-1 Glux gel, which is essentially the same thing. So it's a medium price point that you can get from Amazon. And I would say that like overall, I'm like always pleased with McArt. We have the zigzag like tube gel. This is in clear. We'll look at that. This is the Kokoist gel. I mixed it with a color. We'll do this later. This is Embo powder. We're not going to get into Embo powder today because Embo powder is slightly different than the 3D clay. Like the 3D clay holds its shape much more firmly. Whereas the Embo powder creates kind of like these softer 3D shapes. And so this is just the Bonnie B Embo powder mixed with D-Gel pumping gel. It's this, but I used a different version of this. It's their clear gel. I'm not a huge fan of this stuff. And I used the Cotton Candy D-Gel collection that I swatched in a prior video to make these colors. And as you can see, there's a little color separation, but a quick stir and it'll be all better. So we're not going to do Embo today. If you want to see Embo, comment below and we'll do Embo at another time. But for now, let's get out the ones that we really are going to sink our teeth into. So, probably I'll do the white because I have a backup of the white. And then what's a color I'm going to do for this? So, okay, I probably won't do the clays because the clay is a little outside the scope of this video. But these are all of the 3D kind of sculpting gels that I have in my collection. I know it's a good amount, but it is what it is. Okay, so I feel like Yogo is becoming a fast favorite of mine, and we'll probably start with Yogo. So let's look at Yogo for a minute. Let me get some gloves on because I don't want to touch gel. And I want to take a sip of my tea. Delicious. Okay, so Yogo has several different colors. I have their milk jam color, which is a milky white, very pretty. Then there is this clear one, also very clear. I also have their black jam, which is a really cool black. I'm not going to use it today, but it's really nice. And they have like a scent to them that's actually kind of nice. And then the Silky Bee. This is the one where I'm like, huh, I wonder if I can find dupes for this on Shein, because I feel like Shein and Temu definitely have similar stuff, which is why I bought this one. So we'll see. We will see. But of course, I bought the Mist-Sharing one from Shein, and there's different brands even on Shein. So we'll come back to this. Okay, so let me take out my palette. This is my favorite palette to use for these 3D kind of gels, because it has like this coating on it that makes it so nothing sticks to it. And I want to take out, I'm going to use these tools today. I got them with the Crisania collection. I hope I'm saying her name right. I think it's Crisania Nails, but we'll see. And I'm going to take out, where's the spatula? I need like a hard-handed spatula. I see you. There you are. I'm going to use this. I'm also going to use this. This is just a scraper from Stamping Plates. I find it very useful in working with gels. You can also use any kind of other plastic instead of that, because this doesn't really want to stick to plastic. So I'm just going to take out a small amount and just show you how it works. And so it looks stringy, but it'll cut off, and boom, there it is. And it's very easy to work with once you have the hang of it. I don't like touching it with my hands. I know a lot of people do, but I run hot. So like as soon as I start touching stuff like this, it gets melty in my hands and it sticks to me, and it's just not good for me. And if it gets too warm where you are and it's just not malleable anymore, you can throw these in the fridge for 5 minutes and then take them out, and then you'll be able to work with them all over again. So as you can see, just like it's super easy to kind of like build things up with them. They're very easy to work with. And if I do this, I can get a really great and even little snaky thing. And from there, ooh, I pressed too far down. I pressed hard on that. That was a user error. Let me get out my tweezers. Let's try this again. Use these. Let's see which one I want to use. Let's just use this flat one for now. I'll just use it to move this around really quick. But like, it's cool. You can carve out different things with it. For me, what I'm wondering is, will the white and will the clear take art inks on? I know that the Kokoist one will definitely take art inks. So let's actually, you know what? Let's just give it a shot. So I'm gonna lay this flat for now, and I'm gonna grab some art inks. Let's see what's closest to me. That's what I'm gonna go with. What is closest? Let's do this purple because it's close. So these are the Kokoist art inks. Let's just see how it goes. Granted, I have the Crisania collection, so I have tons of color variation now. But if you don't want to buy every color and you're like, is there a way to just use my existing art inks with these products? Let's explore. So what I find useful is to put the ink down and then give it a minute to dry up. Let that alcohol evaporate, and then we can try again to mix. And it just takes a quick second for it to aerate like that. But we'll take my little spatula and we'll mix it in. I've seen people do this with other gel colors. I just don't like how it changes kind of the consistency of the product, because then it becomes a little bit more liquidy than I'd like it to be. I want it to be malleable, like I've said. You can really see the blue ink from the purple. It's clearly a bluey purple from Kokoist. Oh, interesting that this already fell out. I'm gonna have to glue that sucker in there at some point. Interesting. Will it even go back in? Come on. Yeah, it will. With some finagling. I'm gonna have to glue that in. I wonder if you're allowed to use this end, if that's part of it. Because these are like oddly shaped. Okay, so mixing it with white creates more of like a pastel-y purple. And it doesn't want to mix in super well. I don't really like that tool. Here's my preferred tool. This one's a little bit heftier. This one. Okay, so now it's mixed in thoroughly. Let's see about creating a flower with it. You know what I should do is I should make a couple tips to do this art on. Where did I put the... Okay. Sorry guys, I should have prepared this earlier. My bad. My bad. I'm gonna do a few of these because we have so many to test out. Okay, let's start with 5 and see how we go from there. And I'm just gonna grab, where is the white? I just keep this First Street white and black next to my table. I have so many different white and blacks all around. So I just keep whatever next to me to use for moments like this. And this is just what I had near me. Can you see? Also, if you can't see well, feel free to pinch the screen so you can zoom in. And hopefully that helps. Please don't leave me nasty comments. I've been getting some nasty comments from people being like, what the hell? Like, and I'm like, calm down. This is my hobby. I do this for fun. I know that there are professional YouTubers who like really do well with editing and video camera setup and all of that, but they're professional YouTubers. I am not a professional. I am not a nail tech. I am not a professional YouTuber. Everything I have here is because I saved my money and I bought it. There's no PR. Nothing came to me from these manufacturers for free. I don't get any kickbacks. It's all just my money, my opinions, and I don't want to do things that aren't fun. And honestly, video editing and getting everything all set up like that, that's not fun for me. I know there's some YouTubers who love it and they find it really fun and satisfying. And for them, I'm like, go for it. Do your thing. For me, not fun. So I won't be doing that. And if you don't like that, click off. Okay. Now let's work with this for a minute. Let's get back to trying to turn it into something I can work with. So people can make so many really cool and beautiful things. I'm really new into this journey, so I haven't figured out all the sculpting stuff yet. So the only thing I feel confident doing is a flower. And so the first thing I do is I make a ball, and then I turn it into one of these little snakes. Okay, already I'm seeing that the alcohol ink has made this a lot stickier and a lot, well, I don't want to say a lot, but more difficult to manage when it's just the white base and nothing added to it. So this will make it interesting, I suppose. So I want to, oh my gosh. That'll be good enough for now. Okay, what I also want to do is I want to take these out. Did this go in for a whole minute? I don't know. I'm going to make sure it's in for a whole minute. This still feels a little chunky. One thing I've learned is that less is more. The style I like is when it's really delicate and dainty. So now I'm just going to use this to cut it up and create 5 little balls. I like the look of the 5-leaf flowers. I don't like the look of the 4-leaf flowers. But if that's your thing, do 4 leaves. Me, I want a 5-leaf flower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And we need to wait for that to come out of the oven, and then for me to put a matte coat on there so that I can work with these. But while that's going, I will just actually turn these into balls. So you're going to take those and you're going to turn them into orbs, little balls. Okay, let me take these out and start matte top coating. I like to use a matte top coat just because it makes life easier. This isn't the greatest matte. It's not the worst matte. It's just a matte that is economical and is right next to my desk. And I use it for when I'm practicing things. This isn't the matte I would use if I was making sets for someone. Nail set for someone. I'd have to actually play around to figure out which of my mattes is the best for that. I have several different mattes I use for different things, so I'd have to play. But it would probably be either my Divock one that I use for chromes, because chrome doesn't stick to it, so I'd imagine this won't get too sticky to it either. Or my new Jim B one I like a lot. But I'd have to try. Okay, so these aren't all the same size, but we're gonna work with it. And let's see these other tools really quick. If any of them come up, strike me as something I would want to use to make flowers with. Interesting. Maybe. We'll see. We'll play around with it. Okay. So, let's take on the first one. So this is why I don't want to touch it with my finger. You see? It's stuck to my glove. And it's not supposed to. It doesn't stick to most people's gloves. It sticks to me because I'm just like a little furnace. So I'm just going to put that on there. And let's see how we want to shape this up. And so then you just start pressing into it and like kind of molding out the flower, you know, the petals. And you can even lift it up a little. to really give it that shape you want. And I feel like, what are these other ones? Let's just try. No, that's not the one I want to grab. And ta-da! We will hit it with a quick cure. Just enough for it to hold there. And then let's move on to the next flower, okay? And so then I'm gonna do the next one probably right here, because I want them to slowly build up over each other. And this is this little like pointy kind of tool. Let's see how this works. I don't like that one as much. Okay, we'll hit that with the light. Sorry, I should do this right here. Oh, but I don't want it to hit this. Just flashed here really quickly. I could see this becoming an easy bow too. Okay, let's do this next ball. I'm going to put that right there. And we're gonna just boop, boop. Make some petals. And then we'll cure that. Cool. I think we'll do this big one, this larger ball, and I think I will do it here because there's just more space there. And let's perfect. And I'm not going to cure right now because these two balls don't touch each other or overlap, so I'm just gonna do both right here now. Sorry if I'm hitting the camera. I'm trying to get it close where you guys can see it, where I can see it. Okay, boom. There's a flower. I'm going to throw it into the lamp. Let's see if it cures, because I tried mixing this clear stuff with the black alcohol ink and it wouldn't cure through. It did cure through when I used the Kokoist products, but it wouldn't cure through when I used the Yogo. But I want to see if that's different when I'm using a different color with the milk white. Let's see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And the other cool thing is that these cure non-wipe, so I might be able to even go in and do a little like chrome to it. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Doo-doo-doo. Here we go. Okay, let's see if it has cured. I think it has. These gels feel almost like rubbery, and there's like a bounce back to them, but I can't make an impression. So that makes me think it is cured. So let's find a quick chrome powder to throw on there. I know which one I want to use. If I could find it, that would help. No. Here it is. Here it is. We're going to go with this Aurora Pink from Kokoist, just because it's in one of these little pens, and so I can get it on there quick and easy. That looks awesome, actually. So let me hit it with a little top coat just to keep everything in there. I'm kind of loving this flower, huh? And I love how like the chrome kind of shows the veining of the petal leaves. But what I want to do is I want to take my pointed brush and just kind of clean out the polish that's pooling where it's not supposed to pool. And then a lot of people go in and add some gold caviar beads. We'll see how I feel about that. Let's throw this in the lamp for a minute, though. Actually, you know what? I do want to throw some caviar beads on there. Let me get them out. Let me get them out. Keep all of them in this little container. If I could open it, that would help. Oh yeah, I'm opening it from the wrong end. That's the problem. I'm the problem. I'm going to use these beads. Put this over here for a minute. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get a cupcake liner. Just to throw the beads in there. So that they don't spill everywhere. And I'm just going to like pour just like a little. Plenty. That is more than enough. Let's put this back into the container. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these all to the side right there, and I'm going to take a little brush. And I'm just going to get a little bit of top coat on it. That's more than enough. I'm going to pick up some beads. I'm just going to boom, boom. And there they are. I'm going to cure that really quickly. I can use these beads for another flower in a moment. Let me finish top coating that now. Just the flower, just the little beads. Just a little bit on them. How pretty is that? He's so pretty. Okay. So that is the milk jam with a little alcohol ink. So it worked fine with the purple. I'm wondering, and I know it doesn't work well with the black, so keep that in mind, but it did work well with the purple. The Yogo clear, Works exactly the same way, except it's clear. No wipe top coat. I got it a little dirty, I guess. I don't know how I did that, but whatever. No, it's cures non-wipe, so you can hit it with chromes if you want, and it's very malleable. It works super well. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Now, these Kokoist ones are very different. So Kokoist has boba high and boba low. Let's pull this out. Look how pretty. I'm so proud of that little guy. Yeah, and like, as you can see, it's cured all the way through. But it is soft. Like, it's soft to touch, but it's cured. It just kind of has like a bounciness to it, but it's cured. And it's so pretty. I love it. Tell me what you guys think of that. Back to the Kokoist one. Let me put this to the side for now. I hate to waste a whole sheet because I don't have tons of those. Okay, so I'm actually not going to waste it. The low is a lower viscosity. That's what the low means. Now, these do not dry non-wipe. You do have to wipe these. You do have to wipe these. And the low, like I said, is lower viscosity. So look, that's a very different viscosity than the Yoga ones. You can still play with it quite a bit because it's still a thicker viscosity than, say, the Gin Bee Crazy Top. This is a much thicker viscosity than that. But this is more so used in abstract work because you can just do some really cool stuff with it. So what you'll often see is like Japanese nail artists taking a little bit of it, like this is way too much, and doing some really cool like abstract thing right onto the nail, and it being kind of like just like a cool little way of doing an abstract thing. And I don't know, let's just play with it for a minute. And you see, this isn't a matted nail. And you can see that it does like some really cool abstract stuff. But it does hold to the nail. Like, it gets really sticky on the nail. And you should definitely not touch this. Kokoist is a Japanese company and they use pure gels. So you're not getting as much crap in your gel as you do with other places. But it's still a gel nonetheless. So it's just used to create abstract stuff. I have no idea what I just made. We're just going to throw that in the oven and we're going to keep it moving. I do like the low for certain things. It depends on what I'm using it for. But just know that the Kokoist low has a lot more mobility to it. And that has its strengths and it has its weaknesses. Let me clean this off because some of the gel is sticking to it. Okay. For the Kokoist Boba High, this is a high viscosity gel. So, as you can see, it's actually even firmer than the Yoga one. Not by a ton, but by some. And so you just take a little bit out, and this is the one where you can really roll it and mold it and so forth. And this one, I've used black alcohol ink and it cures. It works. And so we're going to just put that here for now. I want to mat this so that I can do something with this. So like I said, these have a sticky layer to it. You need to wipe them down. What I want to show you with this, hold on a second, is because they need to be wiped down, it's hard to use chrome powder on them because then you need to do a really, really thin coat of a non-white gel. And then with that, you lose a lot of the shape because you do the non-white gel coat, you put on the powder, and then you have to coat it again. And so you lose a lot of the shape. What I've learned is that I really like using alcohol inks with these because they're just super thin and you can keep all of that shape, all of it. And so this is why when you see Japanese nail art, you're like, how did they get that weird metal thing on there? That's it. That's how they get that weird metal thing on there. They use a little alcohol ink. They use a higher viscosity 3D gel. And voila, it's on there. And we can top coat this now so I can show you. You just have to be really thin with the top coat so it doesn't lose its, you know, little quirkies, little lines and stuff. And you want to make sure that the alcohol ink is fully dry so it doesn't bleed. And I'm just gonna, I probably did this a little too soon because I can see the alcohol ink bleeding. But there it is. I'll just cure that quick. Okay. Let's look at this Kokoist high for a minute. The high gel is very malleable, like I said. What color do I want to mix with the high gel? Maybe, I want to do a red, I think. Do I have red? Yeah. I'm going to do the red with the high gel. Okay, so I'm going to take my little palette. Okay. It has like a harder consistency to it. Like it can take more of a beating than the Yogo can. I feel like if this just had a non-white top coat, like a non-white quality to it, this would be everything for me. But because it doesn't, I want to have the other options too, to work with and to play with. But this, as it is such a good quality product. I think I've said this before, but I've never been disappointed with anything I've ever had from Kokoist. While that alcohol ink is just drying, I'm just going to quickly cure these. I'm realizing I need another tip prepped because I still have McArt, Crisania, and Miss Cheering. So we'll do that really quickly. Let me bang this out very fast. Oi. Okay. Alright, so while that's going, let's get going with this. This is what I wanted right here. And so now we're going to just mix the red in. And just like with the Yogo, the alcohol ink does make this a little bit stickier. It does kind of change the consistency a little bit. And you have to do some work to really mix the color in. But because it's a white, a clear base as opposed to the white base, it makes it more of a jelly. And I think the same would be true for the Yogo clear. But like I said, the Yogo clear won't cure all alcohol inks, whereas my experience with the Kokoist one, it does cure all alcohol inks. Let me clean that off. Okay. Let me mat this really quickly so I can have it matted. All right, so let's roll this puppy out and see how it rolls. All right, it's rolling nicely. No issues with that. Now let me turn it into a little snake. Nice. Ooh, it's getting sticky. Oh yeah, that's real sticky right now. Let's try again. It takes a light touch. That's the other thing. You don't want to do too heavy of a touch with these. Now let me turn it into a little snake. I think I need to clean this off too. I think that's part of the issue. Okay. Yeah, I think cleaning that helped a lot. And the palette is really dirty too, so it wants to stick all over this palette. Okay, so let's cut this up. Okay, now let's plop these on here and start making some flowers. Here's the one I want. Here it is. Pretty. I'm going to throw another one on there because I know it's not going to touch this one. And one more. This red with this clear base looks like cherry red. It's so cool. I'm going to cure that very fast so that I can do a layer of petals on top of it. Okay. I start with pointing into the center and then I roll out to give it kind of that like petal quality to it. And then I just move things around as needed, you know? Woo, where do you go? I'm going to put you right here because I think a layer of petal there would look nice, I hope. And then I want to do 2 more actually. If I have the petals, why not do it? That looks awesome. Let me cure that really quickly. I'm going to throw on some chrome with that one too. Probably a more metallic-y one, if I can find the one I want. Here it is. It's so nice. I want to remember which one I use this with. Where is my, here it is. I'm going to put these 2 on top of each other because that'll help me remember. With this red, look at that. It's like a juicy cherry red. How fun would that be to make cherries with? I'm going to use the champagne metallic just to rub in a little bit. Ooh, I didn't mean to take it off the stand. Just so you can get the petal look a little bit. Let's use a tool. Interesting. Maybe I used too much chrome there because I think I lost some of what makes this a flower, but whatevs. Let me pick up some of these beads here. And then just wipe that off. And voila, there's another little flower done. Let me wipe off down here because stuff got on here and it makes it a little messy looking. Oh, I know why that chrome didn't work well, because it's not a non-wipe top coat. Duh. Well, now you can see the difference between them. Okay. We still have 3 more to go. But with these, I'm not going to mix alcohol inks because they already have some color to it. So, I do want a clean palette. I think the next one might be the Crisania because I'm going to go from price point, I think. And so I don't need a ton of this. So the benefit here is that she's already made the colors for us. So we don't have to worry about mixing any colors together. This color is called Peach Sunset. Okay, here's that one. Let's just quickly do this. And it's a great consistency. No stickiness whatsoever. It's rolling out quick and easy. I don't have to worry about dealing with art inks. It's just already colored. There's a benefit to being able to use art inks with them, but there's also a drawback. Like, the benefit is I can make whatever art ink color I have. The drawback is I have to have that art ink. But it does somewhat change the consistency of the product. Not terribly so, but it's still a change. Okay. Let's take this and let's start. I want to start with the biggest beads to lay a foundation. And then we just, remember, I start from the middle and I just kind of, whoop, and then I just go like that. That's a petal done. I wish I could pick up with this too, but I can't. Oh, maybe I can. Maybe I can. And so, like that. Interesting. Come on, let me pick you up. Doesn't actually want to be picked up this way, but you know what, I want to hit it with the lamp anyway right now, just so that shape doesn't get lost. And like this shape, you could leave it as it is and people would know it's a flower, but I want to build it up. And you could even use different colors to build different layers of the petals if you want, I suppose. Yeah, these things, I like how like small the silicone tip is, but the handle isn't the best. I made this sleeve too big. I can still kind of put it where I want it, so that's good. Okay, cool. Let's throw that in the oven. That was quick, right? Like that was a really quick one because it was pre-colored and I didn't have to futz with it a lot. But let's see what happens as we cure it. And that's another one that is supposed to dry with a non-wipe layer. The woman who created it, I messaged her on Instagram within like 3 seconds. She got back to me and I asked her, like, is it a non-wipe? She said yes, but I still wipe it down for clarity. So I'm going to wipe it down, but I'm still going to try to use a chrome pen. This one's the Aurora Blue. We'll see how it blends with that peachy color. So let's take my little cotton square. And we'll wipe it down. Okay. Let's see what happens now as it dries. It's pretty. I tend to see, like, on her Instagram page, the people are making more like characters with this. And I could see why. It's a very easy to work with product. Okay, all right, let's top coat. I want to remove the top coat from these nooks and crannies. This is interesting because I feel like the petals aren't as defined, and I think maybe that's because I used such a much smaller flower than with everyone else, with all the other ones. Does it look like a flower, guys? A little bit, maybe. We'll see. Okay, while that one's curing, let's move on to the McArt. Okay, so McArt, you can get it on Amazon, moderately priced. I think this was like $10 on Amazon. And you get a lot with it, like 15 grams. Yeah, that's a lot. And it's colorful. It's glittery. This is giving me very strong Elsa vibes. Probably did not need that much. Oi, come on. So let's see how it works. Okay, easy to work with, moves easily. It's a little firmer than, I would say, the Yogo. That's not good, that's not bad, it just is. And it can take a lot more firmness from me. I can be firmer with this, I can tell. So okay, I'm going to try something different with this one, actually. Because I've made enough flowers today. Let's see if I can make a bow. Okay. Just going to take a bow. And put it there. Come on, let go. And we're gonna kind of start it the same way I'd start a flower. And give it a little bit of that ruffle effect, I would say. Let's pick this up. Well, you have to make the bow even, I imagine, for it to work well. And I think that because there's so much glitter packed into this, it's harder to really make the lines you want, because if your line is just where there's a glitter piece, it's just not gonna want to go. It's pretty, but you know, you got to work with the fact that there's glitter in it, and that has its strengths and its weaknesses, I suppose. So we're gonna just do that there and do that there. And then we're gonna roll this out a little bit again. Yeah. I'm gonna pop you right there for like that center of the bow. Okay, not my cutest work. This is really thick and chunky glitter, so it kind of makes it harder to really roll around and make it that kind of tininess that you would want it to be. So that's something to think about with the McArt. Okay, we're gonna do the cheering in a moment. Let me pull. I think we'll do another bow. Okay, so this is glitter too. It's much smaller glitter. Why is there gel on the outside of this? That's not supposed to be. Interesting. Okay. Okay, interesting. Right, this is way more than I need, so I'm going to chop some off. Okay, put you over here, and let's start rolling this out and seeing what this one's like. Okay. It's not as easy to kind of form into a shape that I want. It kind of holds its own shape a little bit, but I can be firm with it. It does allow for a firmer touch. Okay, we're going to try a bow again. This off, and then we're going to cut this in half, and then we're going to cut this in half. And here's my nail tip right here. Okay. That one gave me a little hard time applying to the nail. I've never had that happen with any of the other ones. Okay, again, like I'm noticing, not the easiest to mold, and it doesn't want to take on the fine lines. Interesting. Yeah, again, that didn't want to stick to the nail. That's very odd. None of the other ones have had that issue. Not able to really see the fine lines, and it's harder to mold, I'm noticing. Interesting. Okay, Let me bring this one over here for a minute because I want to roll it to be a little longer. Perfect. Okay, let's cut this in half for the bow strings. Oh, yeah, this one, it doesn't want to apply where I want it to apply. Oh, that's very interesting. It's still workable, I suppose, but it's just not as quick and easy as the other brands. And then look, like you have this stringiness to it as well. Ooh, why did you fling? I didn't mean to do that. That was my error. Oh, and now again, it doesn't want to pick up. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So let's top coat these. Make a little space to kind of give my final thoughts. I didn't do this one because this is a, like, it's an embow clear, so it kind of behaves differently, and I feel like this is closer to what's it called, Crazy Top, Bimby Crazy Top. So we're not going to do that one in this video, and this video has already gotten plenty long. Okay, let's top coat this. We'll top coat this. Okay, so let's discuss. Okay, first up, let's go over the milk jam. Loved this one. Loved working with this one. Loved how it came out. Thought it was beautiful. I love that I can mix some of my art inks with it to create whatever colors I want. I love that it's non-white. Did I already say that? I don't know. I love how all of the little veining details show. They just showed perfectly and lovely. Like, you can see the petal lines. That, like, is gorgeous. Love it. Next up, we have Kokoist Low. And you just make randomness with this. So it is what it is. You have to know when and where to use it. Honestly, I don't reach for this a ton. Hardly ever, actually. So in my collection, I don't... It doesn't fit in well with my collection. It doesn't mean it doesn't have a place in another person's collection. Just not mine. The Kokoist High... I like it. I like it a lot because I like that I know for a fact I can mix any of my art inks with it to create any color I want. You still have all the fine lines. It's just that it's not non-white. And so you kind of have to use that accordingly. But I can do another video where I try the Yoga Clear with more colors. If you want, comment below if you want to see a Yoga Clear video with a bunch of different art ink colors to see how it performs. After that, we have the Crisania collection. I like it. I like it. It is easy to work with. It keeps all its lines. It's fast because the colors are already made, and it's non-white. So, like, personally me, I like it. I just wish I made a slightly bigger flower. But that's the negative of this, is that these are 5-gram pots. These are tiny. Whereas I think the Yoga pots are 15. Yeah, these are 15 grams. So there's that piece of it. Next up, we have the McArt. I wasn't vibing with this. I know a lot of people love this McArt 401 Glux, but I think for me, it was how chunky the glitters were. It made it harder for me to work with, and you lose some of these fine lines. It just wasn't my vibe. And then last but not least is the Miss Cheering one from Shein. Now, I wonder if other brands from Shein will work better. I didn't love this one. I couldn't keep the fine lines. It didn't want to work well with me. It didn't want to like be picked up and put down. And it's pretty to look at, but it's hard to do 3D sculpting art with this. So my feelings on these, can I get them all in? Can they all fit in? Can they all, are they all in? Let's see. My feelings is that I definitely like Yogo. I see a place for the boba. I want to get to know Crisania more. You know? I could do without you, I could do without you, and I could do without you. But that's my final results of these clays, these 3D jelly sculpting clays. Comment below to tell me your thoughts and what you'd like to see from me next. Thanks, guys. Bye.